All right, everybody. So welcome back to Hoops and Cards. Guys, we're talking about the NBA playoffs. And I got to tell you, as an NBA fan, it's been first of all, I love watching the games this time of year. I love seeing teams rise to the occasion, and it almost doesn't matter who it is. It's fun to watch Trae Young hit a bunch of threes and score 14 points in a row in the fourth quarter on the road, no less. It's fun to see what Jimmy Butler did, even though I'm on the couch rooting for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's just, but I'll say this, when it's my team, the Cleveland Cavaliers are laying an egg on the biggest possible stage. And I don't know what happened to Donovan Mitchell on Sunday, but I think the Knicks are deeper, tougher, better, more talented, and they have Jalen Brunson and the Cavs don't. But other than that, it's an even. I love watching the playoffs, and I believe a lot of us, you're watching, you're listening, you're part of the podcast, NBA basketball card collecting community. Like, this is the time of the year we've been waiting for, and we've asked questions about, we've made predictions about, we've wondered, can the Lakers even make the playoffs? Well, now it looks like they could bounce Memphis in the very first round. I thought, man, Memphis with Ja, Desmond, Jaren, Santi, Dylan, all those dudes they have, that they would at least, right, be ready to, the West is going to be no problem, Ja says. And oops. I think Memphis is going to have an interesting offseason no matter what happens. But if you're looking at card investments and you're watching the playoffs, there are a couple things to note and to watch for in these next 3 to 4 weeks. Some players will be adding to their legacies. Will Jason Tatum, will Nikola Jokic, will Joel Embiid have a finals run that adds to their legacy? Will LeBron James or Steph Curry get back to the finals again and possibly add another ring to their chest of jewelry? I don't know. I do think some of those players will add to their legacies and will solidify the value of their cards. Now, some of them may not increase beyond where they've been before, and maybe you're not counting on that. Maybe you're just like, look, I want to count on or invest in or buy cards of a player that's building a Hall of Fame resume, and the cards may be worth a lot at some point in the future, but I don't really care. Like, I want to collect GOATs. I want to collect the best players, and that's fair. You can do that, and the playoffs remind us of that. I think on the flip side, when it comes to the GOAT conversation, these playoffs have been a disappointment so far. If you like Giannis, if you like Kawhi Leonard, if you like Russell Westbrook, even though he's stepped up, excuse me, and done more than people have expected him to do of late. But some guys just are not able to add to their legacy this year. That's me saying 3-1 lead might as well be 4-1, might as well be 4-2. For all I care. I don't see any of these teams coming back from a 3-1 deficit right now. I don't see the Cavs somehow, manning up and knocking off the Knicks. I don't. The Knicks are too deep. There are too many Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes. They are just too deep. And the Cavs have 4.5 players that can step up at this time of year. And maybe they sacrifice too much depth in the Donovan Mitchell trade. Too early to tell. They did overachieve by getting into the 4 seed, but come on, play with some backbone, some heart, at least tonight in Game 5. Darius, Donovan, Evan, Jared, Karras, we need you guys to step up. This looks bad. Some of these 3-1 deficits, in my mind, it's already over. It's already over for the Grizzlies. It's already over for, who's the other team? Gosh, Milwaukee. Oh, all right. So let me talk about cards. This could be a time for you to, if you're into the everyday thing, to make money on flipping cards. That may mean you already have a rookie card or a nice card of a player who's going to have one awesome game. It may be the Rui Hachimura explodes game. A couple years ago was the Terrence Mann in the playoffs, or Grant Williams for Boston. You have any players like that could contribute on the bigger stage? Quentin Grimes is going to start. Is that right? Is Grimes starting or is it somebody else starting? I'm saying there are guys that aren't necessarily the superstar, but if they have a big night, the card market takes notice and you'll wish you had capitalized on it and sold today or sold next week, especially in the conference finals and the finals. Once a team makes it there, Will there be buyers looking around saying, I need to find a rookie of Joel Embiid? Well, yeah, he's obvious. Or I need to find a rookie of DeAnthony Melton and Tyrese Maxey. I need to find a rookie card somehow of, think of the Denver Nuggets and their supporting cast, some good players with young talent and great careers ahead of them. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., those two. In fact, there are a lot of dealers, there are a lot of the sports card people out there that don't realize, they don't follow the NBA throughout the season. So they're probably really surprised that the Knicks are playing well. They're really surprised when Michael Jr. has more than 20 points in a game. Well, those things have been happening all season. Some of them happened last season. By the way, if the Knicks advance, when the Knicks advance, Emmanuel Quickly, my dude, is going to have some big games against the Celtics. It's just going to happen. So you might say, I want to be in on the day-to-day. I want to buy and sell and flip, and there are some opportunities to do that. Playoff shopping, some guys I could see having big moments coming up. I wrote down 5 names, and actually I wrote down 11 names. I'm just going to give you all 11 here. So this is like a Basketball Cards 101, how to get in on a playoff jump or a playoff increase in a player's value. And to be fair, some of these players are already going up, right? Some of them were already mentioned by Sports Card Investor in a podcast like yesterday or a YouTube video 2 days ago. Great job, guys. These are going to continue to, these players at least are going to continue to perform well. And they're not really a secret right now. So I wrote down Jalen Brunson, Jimmy Butler, Tyrese Maxey, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. And then there's this, what do you do with Boston and Atlanta this whole series? What do you do? Trae Young, right? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. There's also, what do you do with the Warriors and the Kings? The Kangs, John. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson. I think you just, well, here, I'll just, like when I get to this part of the conversation, I often just tell you what I'm doing. I'm not really buying much of any of these players. Part of it's because I'm past that. I already have bought a lot of the guys I want in the NBA. And so, you know, if there are guys I bought like on a hunch that maybe they'll be awesome, maybe they'll reach that next level, maybe their teams will go further in the playoffs and their card values might rise, blah, blah, blah. If I bought those guys already, I might list them for sale. I think I've said that. If I bought them and I see a good long-term upside for them, think Jaren Jackson Jr., think in my case, Tyrese Maxey or Darius Garland. Some of them I might sell, some of them I might hold on to. Some of them I might be like, okay, that player truly is, or that team truly is what I thought they'd be, what I'd hoped they'd be, what I see in a player that I want to watch or a team I want to invest in. I make notes that I'll use in the offseason. You don't have to buy and sell right now when the moment's, new for everybody. But you do want to be aware of how that all works, because there could be some future money-making and superstar buying opportunities for you in that process. So the playoff shopping list, I mentioned Brunson. I think he, even though Julius Randle did have a third team All-NBA kind of season, I think Jalen Brunson, it's his team, and it's his team moving forward. And it's Jalen Brunson that will make the difference if the Knicks get past the Celtics. I think they have a lot of depth and a lot of players that will give the Celtics a problem. But I also think the Celtics are bigger and more physical and deeper than the Cavaliers. They're going to give the Knicks more than enough. So that series could go 7. But Jalen Brunson is a superstar, friends. And he's not just like the sidekick that Dallas let go. He is a superstar. He is capable of getting 40 any given night. If he averages 32 against the Celtics in a 7-game series that the Knicks win, you will say, man, I wish I had bought some Brunson 2 weeks ago or 8 days ago when Hoops and Cards was talking about it. You're right. Jalen Brunson, like De'Aaron Fox, on the way up. Like, I don't know if there's anybody else in the same class as those two guys. Jimmy Butler, now he might be the best player in the playoffs so far, but some reason his card market never really, even when Miami won or went to the finals with him, like never really fully embraced what Jimmy Butler is one of the best, most clutch, toughest, most gifted, passionate leaders, fun to watch players in the NBA. He is just the man. And 56, 57 points. It's probably like, why does he have to prove it again and again and again? I don't know. I don't know. There is something about being to the mountain and not winning that ring in the past that I think haunts him. And that he's often played the villain and been on teams like Chicago or Philly or Minnesota or now Miami, where he's the guy that nobody expected. And he's going up against like our super icon heroes like LeBron or Giannis or whatever that we don't, I don't know, right? There's the human element to all this. I do want to get to, there's some players that I think have had either playoff disappointments or they've had good playoff performances, just their teams got knocked out. And I'm like, man, I want to buy into that player's cards in the offseason. So I'm making some notes about guys that I'm like, man, in 3-4 months. Oh, and then we'll talk about them moving forward and their specific card markets. But guys that had breakout years that continued into at least the play-in, if not the playoff, they are further ahead than the other big name peers who didn't make the playoffs. So I'm not really going to talk for here about Zion, LaMelo, Cade. Like when we talk about the next future stars, I don't really want, this is me just trying to be smart with my money, right? I don't really want a lot of cards of guys who, you know, they not only did they not make the playoffs this year, I don't see them in the playoffs next year or the year after that or the year after that. I love you, Charlotte. I love you, Detroit. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. Now, Oklahoma City took a step forward and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took a huge step forward, not just in performance and gameplay, but in the way people think and invest about him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might be at the top of my offseason buying list. I shouldn't tell you that because I want the deals. I shouldn't tell you that what Mikal Bridges has done in the last 3 months for the Brooklyn Nets isn't a one-hit wonder. It isn't a flash in the pan. And the Nets somehow emerged from that, quote, super team that never was, air quotes, right? They've emerged. They've got a young team with a great, exciting young core of players that are all pretty humble, hardworking. Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Joe Harris. They've got some dudes. Cameron Thomas can drop 40 on you. Don't believe me? Go take him to a court, your local YMCA, take him to the 3-on-3 tournament. Cam Thomas 50, the other team 0 or even -6. I don't know. But the Nets have talent, and Mikal Bridges is a dude worth investing in. His card values are lower than they should be, but they're gonna be much cheaper in September. Sorry, I'm talking like choppy. Like robot. Mikal Bridges, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let me talk about Anthony Edwards. So Minnesota's out. And they're going to blow some stuff up. If I was Minnesota, I'd get rid of Rudy. I'd get rid of Karl Towns. And I'd be like, look, the days in the NBA, the days of slow, like, we think they're athletic, we think they're durable, big men, but they're not. They're not. Like, look at what the teams that are advancing have. They've got the athletic, defensive-minded big, Jaren Jackson Jr., Anthony Davis. I mean, even just guys that will crash the boards like Kevon Looney. You know, what good is having two of these players that slow down an offense, Towns and Gobert? And what good is it, man, Jaden McDaniels, dude, punching a wall and then he's out for the series? That did not help at all. But what we can say about Minnesota and what we could say about Anthony Edwards is he's still so young and he can score and he's got fire in him. And that dude will not settle for a quiet offseason in Minnesota. He should be like, look, if you guys want to keep me, if you guys want me in an extension contract, like, you got to shake stuff up, man. Rebuild the team around Anthony Edwards. Don't say, well, we had Cat. We've added a piece here. We added a piece here. Got Mike Conley here. Like, you just got bounced. You got swept by the Nuggets. And you might still have the most explosive scorer in that series in Anthony Edwards. So I like his overall legacy potential, and what he's already done is, it just meets me with a resounding yes. That guy is the man, but you will want to wait till November to buy his cards, or December. Fun to watch. Minnesota could be a playoff team again, but they need some change. But it doesn't involve Ant. He's the man. And at the same time, after saying all that, is he a short term, like in the next 12 months that you could make money on? I don't think so. I mean, is he getting traded to Portland? Is he getting traded to Dallas? Is he getting traded to Brooklyn? I don't see it. So I like him long term. And he certainly performed well these last 3 games in the playoffs. The other guys I wrote down as postseason possibilities to buy would be at some low point in the offseason. I want to pick up a Giannis rookie, a nice graded Giannis rookie, because Milwaukee getting bounced early. This might be the one time in Giannis's prime years when they don't make it past the first round and when card values are kind of forgotten on him. And people are like, yeah, well, how many years is he going to go by without winning another championship? All that's like legit, right? But he's still Giannis, and I'm still chasing him. The other 2 players are on Memphis. I'm calling you young dudes out. Why does Memphis play better when Ja is injured or out? Why do they have such a good winning record? I think it's because the rest of the team knows their role, and they're great at their role. Tyus Jones is an excellent backup point guard. He's a starter on most teams. Desmond Bane is one of the best shooters in the NBA. And what did he do? Like against the Lakers the other night? Did he have 38? Whatever. Like Desmond Bane is awesome, guys. He's a problem. He was the next name on my list. If Memphis gets bounced early, I'm considering the offseason a buying opportunity for Desmond Bane and a buying opportunity for Jaren Jackson Jr., JJJ. Love him as a player. Love his attitude, his hustle. Love that he started scoring a lot more in the last month. He's found his shot. It's like that. What's the movie with Will Smith and the golfer and Bagger Vance and some legend? You lost your swing, Jaren. Well, he found it. He got it back. He's got his 3-point shot back. He can score. He's a 3-level scorer. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. I like him a lot, but I don't like buying him now. I'm buying him in the offseason. In fact, I might even sell him now. Some of these cards of these guys right now, because it's NBA playoff season, everybody's thinking about it. I'll sell that card now for, like, let me just use a dumb number. I'm selling the card for $50 now if I know I can buy it for 30 in 3 months. Why wouldn't you do that? And use that other $20 for something else, like I don't know, burger and fries at Swenson's, or put it into your retirement plan. I've been removing some of my card profits whenever I have them, putting them into growth stocks, like diversifying, so that you're not just all in cards. But that's a little bit of a rabbit trail. What is my point? My point is some players you might see adding to their legacies and putting them on your buying list or selling while they're hot. Others you might say, hey, this playoffs, they underachieved, but I still believe in them long term. And I know I drank a lot of water. I know they have possibility and potential for an increasing, just a future championship contending, future scoring titles and all-star games, future playoff wins. I like those guys: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Mikal Bridges, Anthony Edwards, Desmond Bane, Giannis, and Jaren Jackson Jr. I almost added to that list a few guys who could get bounced today. Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. We didn't really talk much about LeBron, but could the Lakers actually win the title this year, that some of the toughest, most intimidating contenders are on the ropes or they got knocked out already? Like, what if Golden State gets knocked out by Sacramento? What if Milwaukee is done? What if the Celtics don't make it past Philly and all of a sudden Anthony Davis is healthy for 4 weeks in a row and Austin Reeves plays like Chris Mullin for another month? What happens if Rui Hachimura keeps hitting threes and Jared Vanderbilt is crazy on the boards? And they're actually deep now all of a sudden with Lonnie Walker IV and Troy Brown and Michael Beasley. The Beasley. Yeah, the Lakers could be doing it. But guys, if you have other 101 level questions, this was about kind of how to handle these playoffs. Resist some of the fads that are out there, like the new cards, the rookies, even the high prices right now on Monopoly Prism cards and the Topps, McDonald's, All-American cards, all that stuff can wait for the offseason when they're cheaper to buy. And maybe now's the time to scout out and say, what do I really like? What do I want? What things might retain value? Maybe it's an autographed card or a numbered limited edition card, but you have time. Don't give in to the FOMO. Okay. Enjoy it, but don't feel like, oh, I'm missing out. Oh, I got to buy now. Oh, look what he just did in the third quarter. I got to buy right now. I mean, sometimes, right? And have fun if that's the way you want to operate. Enjoy those moments. But other times I'm just here to say, I'm not buying as much right now. I'm selling a little bit. I'm scouting and making a watch list and a shopping list of priorities for the off season. I'm making podcasts. Love that you're listening. Guys, give us a shout out or email me at gary@hoopsandcards.com. Thanks again for listening, and share us with any of your friends who are into basketball cards. Tyson, thanks for the email, and love to hear from any of you that are listening around the world. Have an awesome week, and I want to say go Cavs. I'm a loyal fan. Go Cavs, but it's going to be tough.